What is happening, everyone? Welcome to GBALL Vision. Today we have an exciting unboxing to dig into. We'll go ahead and use the channel unboxing knife from our good buddy Keith the Knife Freak. So let's dig into this guy. This is a very minimal package here. We'll get that out of the way. I will leave Keith's Instagram link down in the description if you are interested in checking out some of his little fixed blades that he does over there. He does a fantastic job and he's an awesome dude. So I have quite a bit of contact with Kexmo knives, and I was looking at their catalog of knives that they have in their store, and I came across this particular knife and I sent them a message saying, hey, that one looks pretty interesting. I won't mind checking that one out if you guys would be willing to send it in. And they said, yeah, we'll send that over for you to take a look at. So it looks like a good little EDC knife. So a nice little pull out box there and just some simple packaging. So to put this in perspective, this knife is retailing for $30, but I have not seen it at that price. Typically, this can be had for about $17.99, which I think, all things considered, is a pretty good price. So we have some G10 handles here, deep carry clip, lanyard hole, open construction, flipper tab for deployment, and let's see. Okay, so we have a nice satin finished blade here. It almost looks like it's kind of cross between a hand rub and like a machine satin almost. It looks pretty good. Pretty good access to the liner with a nice string of jimping. The detent is pretty tuned as well. You have a nice little finger choil there. Lockup looks pretty good, about 20-25%. Yeah, the detent is nice and tuned. I love this little spear point, drop point blade, and this bad boy is coming in D2. So for 18 bucks, G10, D2, nice little detent, nice little flipper, nice useful blade shape with a good finish. And they do offer this in this satin style finish here, and then they also offer it in a black wash finish. So it would be black G10 with a black wash finish on it, and then a black deep carry clip. This will be a reversible pocket clip, so two-way reversible clip. I like what they're doing here. They have definitely started to evolve their pocket clips, and this is definitely one of the better ones that I've seen. Now, this knife is probably my favorite one that I've had in so far, and coming in right behind this one is this guy here. So they are starting to really put out some models that I find very interesting and also very useful. This, I think, even more so than the other one, is going to make a nice little EDC knife, you know, a beater knife, work knife. Throw this in your vehicle, throw it in a pouch, because you don't have a real big profile. Under 4 inches, it looks like about 3 7/8 for your overall profile when closed. As far as when it's open, probably looking at like, yeah, 7 1/8, right about 7 actually. So a decent little size for little EDC knife. I like how they're doing a fantastic job when it comes to keeping the show side clean, keeping everything nice and clean. They don't have branding on the clip. They don't have branding all over the show side of the blade. Even the clip side is clean. I don't see a steel marking either. Let's see here. No, I don't even see a steel marking. And I don't really have a problem with not seeing the steel marking either. I'm going to know when I buy this knife what steel it's in. Having it back here close to the tang in a small, writing, I don't find to have an issue with that either. But if it's not there at all, that doesn't bother me either. I would actually, this is how I would prefer the majority of knives to look. Nice and clean, no writing, no nothing on it. It just looks nice and clean. And that's always been my thing. This is a $18 knife, and you don't really know if this is an $18 knife, a $50 knife, $60 knife. So I like that appeal to this. Instead of blasting their logo or their name all over the show side of the blade, I'm just not the biggest fan of that. And I think even some of these big production companies can take a cue from, some of these newer companies that are coming up. And I think the main design language for this particular knife is so that anywhere in the United States you can buy and have this knife. So you're coming in at 3 or under. It's just a hair under 3. So even if you live in an area where you have to have under a 3-inch blade, this is going to fill that role. That is the main target for this knife, to have an EDC knife that anyone can buy anywhere. That is the, basis behind this knife. And then, throwing in EDC, hiking, camping, that sort of thing. Just having a folder in your pocket that's going to be nice and useful. Pretty thin blade stock, even at the thickest part here. Some nice, useful jimping. Actually is pretty grabby there. I wouldn't mind seeing it come out a little further if we're in this choked up spot. I won't mind having some here before it starts to kind of cant down. But, like I always say, for 18 bucks, if they can nail having good handle materials, having a decent steel, good access to the liner for disengagement. They give you a nice row of jimping there. Definitely easily grabs your finger, your thumb there when you go to disengage it. Definitely could fiddle with this thing all day. Fidget, fiddle, however you want to say it. And I like how I can get a full choke up. So, and then that allows me to have that nice index where if I need to do a precision cut, get into something, and I don't want to be too deep, say you're getting into a package or something like that, I like being able to use my finger as a guide to how far that tip will actually go into the package or whatever the item might be. So I like that about this. I'm trying to think of what this reminds me of. It has a look of something, and it reminds me of something, but I can't quite put my finger on it. It is a nice little EDC knife. Someone who is not looking to spend a ton of money, but still retain some value for that under $20 mark. We'll definitely do some testing with this guy. We'll do a full in-depth overview of this guy as well. We can go ahead and see what kind of edge came on this. Now, that's one thing I can say about Kexmo is every knife that I've gotten from them so far from factory has had a fantastic edge on it. So let's see what we got for this one. So we have our nice little thin piece of phone book paper here. We got the Kexmo. Yes. Every single one, I'm telling you guys, has come with a great edge on it. And I've been using that other Kexmo that I showed earlier as much as I can. If I would quit messing up here. It's got a nice pokey tip. This stuff just wants to rip. Yes. I'm telling you guys, for the money, and I want to say this one, I do really like this one. This is, this thing is fantastic for the money. It's got a nice detent. You got the dual thumb studs and the flipper tab on this guy. So they have some, you know, they have some different knives, but these two in particular, I do have an unboxing and a first look at this one. We'll be doing a overview soon. Same with this guy here. They have some different stuff that, you know, falls below the $10 mark. Something similar to this. And, you know, for under 10 bucks, you can't expect a ton. But even this came with a fantastic edge on it. I think this is in 3CR. It is assisted. I know a lot of guys, you know, won't care for something like this. But there are a lot of guys who don't want to spend a ton of money on a pocket knife like some of us will and some of us do. And for that, we have some companies who are stepping in to kind of fit that bill and do a very good job. I'd love to see Kexmo continue in this $10, $15, $20 range, but I'd love to see what they can do as far as maybe bumping it up to, let's say, $40, $50. Start working with some like 14C and bringing us some designs similarly to this, keeping everything clean. This looks good. For 18 bucks, you know, if I was just getting into knives, or if I was looking for something where I didn't have to spend a ton of money, you know, 15, 20 bucks, this would be a good candidate for you. If you're looking for something to kind of throw in a pack or a vehicle, you know, if something happens to it, it gets lost, it gets broke, what have you, this is another good candidate for something like that, or in a toolbox or a junk drawer. I think this has a lot of roles that it can fill, and they even include lefties in there. They have some internal milling. The balance is right on point there, so right below the pivot. Yeah, this is another good one from Kexmo. Like I said, we'll do an in-depth overview of this guy here coming up very shortly. We'll continue to test this one. We'll continue to test this guy as well. And I will probably bring a video on both of these knives at the same time, possibly, and kind of do a review on both of these knives at the same time here in the near future. I can say I've had this one for a couple weeks now, and I'm a big fan of this guy here. Just a nice little chody knife. But give me a thumbs up, guys, before you head out. Let me know what you think of this guy down in the comments, and let me know what this reminds you of, because I'm still trying to figure it out. I'd love to hear what you guys have to say about it. If you're new to the channel or you've been here before and you're not subscribed, hit the subscribe button down below the video or click the GBALL Vision logo about to pop up in the center of your screen. I love y'all, and I will catch you on the next one.